Premier, that's the only question to your statement. The second statement this morning from the Minister of Housing. Minister Silva, you have questions first from the Shadow Minister for Finance, MP DeCudo.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for that update, Honourable Minister. Now, Mr. Speaker, I'm going to be guided by you because I know there was a lengthy public statement and press conference that front-ran these parliamentary statements. Now, my view, that's contrary to the Ministerial Code of Conduct, but I'm going to seek your guidance to make sure
you accepted the statement because you brought more information.
My questions are not stepping over there. The Honourable Minister referred to housing projects that were unfortunately, and I say this with deep feeling, unfortunately, the OBA, when they came into office in 2012, had to halt. I'm sure the Honourable Minister is aware that the 2012 budget had a $127 million deficit prior to capital spending, and well, this is important. This is important for the question. And in fact, that the loans further loans had to be taken out to pay the civil servants. To allow me to. This is important for the question.
Well, put the question so we can get to the answer.
So, given that, would the minister have preferred that housing had been built or that civil servants not have been paid? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So your question is going back to something that happened prior?
The Honourable Minister referred to in his statement housing projects that had to be stopped by the OBA, which was because of a lack of money. Okay. And so I'm asking him what she would have preferred to happen, given that statement.
Basically, the fact that you made reference to the...
That is so silly.
Okay, that's fine, Mr. Speaker. The fact of the matter is this government cares about the people of the country, and we will do both.
Yes. You could have done both at that time, too. Yes, they could. You decided not to.
They found money for the America's Cup, but they couldn't find money for that.
Here we are. Tell them.
Would you like a supplementary or a new question?
Yes, new question, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you.
We know from public statements that the financing was arranged at between 6 to 6.25%. Also, the name of the bank the financing was obtained from was also put into the public. Did the government shop this financing around or obtain bids on the financing from multiple financial institutions? Thank you.
Minister?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary or new question?
Supplementary. How many institutions were solicited and how many responded? Thank you.
I'll bring that info, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. He provided that he'll get the information for you. He didn't have it with him at the time. A second supplementary or third question?
Yeah, third question, Mr. Speaker.
Okay.
By my calculations, the government financing for its own debt is around high 3%. So this financing is in the 6 to 6.5%. My calculations, Mr. Speaker, that this means this financing costs about $1 million to $2 million more than if government directly provided the financing. Why did the minister not use financing directly from government, which would have saved the people money? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No. I would like to answer.
Minister of Finance will answer.
I'm happy to answer, Mr. Speaker. No. I'm happy to answer because, see, Mr. Speaker, the honourable member is using question time not to ask questions but to put forward points under matters relating to the window. And the honourable member cannot have it both ways. The honourable member cannot say that we should pay off
order, Mr. Speaker.
While at the same
point of order, Mr. Speaker. He's impugning a proper motive.
Wait. State your point of order.
He's impugning a proper motive. He's asking a question, a fair question, and it requires a fair answer. To categorize him as just, grandstanding is wrong. Okay. It's a question.
The Premier is going to answer the question for us now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate your ruling on this matter because they get up every single time. I've got it. They get up every single time on this matter. So here's the thing, Mr. Speaker.
Just get to answer the question, everybody.
Here's the thing, Mr. Speaker. The honourable member cannot have it both ways. You understand what I'm saying? He can't have both ways. So he can't, in one breath, say that we need to make sure that we pay off and retire the debt, and in the other hand, say, oh, well, you shouldn't pay off and retire the debt. What's it called? So, the rhetorical question which he's asking, would you prefer for us not to pay off the debt and all the rest? The reality is, Mr. Speaker, that the Ministry of Finance understands, works with colleagues to make sure that we can fund particular matters while remaining inside of our particular envelopes. The funding that was done for this was done and arranged with full scrutiny from the Ministry of Finance and will allow us to do two things, Mr. Speaker. Will allow us to advance on housing, on the most ambitious house building project in the history of this country, while also retiring $605 million of debt next year. We can do both, Mr. Speaker. So the Honorable Member earlier was asking questions about, would we prefer to pay civil servants or would we prefer to build housing? This shows a government that can do both, Mr. Speaker, and that is the reason why we've gone in this direction, Mr. Speaker. So we would know what would happen if they were in office. They would choose one or the other. We, Mr. Speaker, can do both.
That's the question. Thank you. That was your third question. Do you have a supplementary to your third?
Well, yes, and the Premier spoke quite fully, so I imagine I would have quite a lot of leeway in my supplemental because
no. To be fair, you had a lot of leeway before you got to your question.
I appreciate that, Mr. Speaker.
You had a lot of leeway. So the Premier was given the same privilege of leeway before he got to the answer.
I appreciate, The Premier referred to all the detailed vetting.
Well, you don't have to take a lot of leeway on this one. Just put your question for this.
And the consideration of the options, what amount of the $64 million is required to be spent this year, and how did that feed into the consideration of the financing options this financial year? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Minister can respond to that.
Yes, I can. Mr. Speaker, all of it, because this government has an ambitious program to build 229 homes in the next 14 to 18 months. 229 homes.
Is there a second sub?
Yes, all of this. So my understanding is all of the $64 million will be spent by April, but this project is going for 18 months from now. How will they finance the portion of the project that happens after this financial year for the rest of the 18 months? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, if I have one apple in this hand and one apple in that hand, I have two apples. The Honorable Finance Minister wants to know, look, Mr. Speaker.
Shadow Minister of Finance. Don't give him that. And he'll stay shadow for a long time.
The wishful Minister of Finance. Mr. Speaker, the fact of the matter is this. We have secured $64 million. We will break ground in August. This project will be paid for before the fiscal year is finished, i.e., Mr. Speaker, you will know that, and surely people in this House will know, if you make a purchase today, you may not pay it all today, but by the time you make a down payment on your car, Mr. Speaker, you make a down payment on a house, you have a mortgage, by the time that 15-year mortgage is up, Mr. Speaker, you will have paid it in full. That project will be paid for. And let me say something else, Mr. Speaker, that might help honorable members next door. I said in my statement, I received $114.75 million. Yes. Not 60, just 64. 114.75 million, Mr. Speaker. And listen. Another 50 million will be coming here in a couple of weeks to announce another development and more houses for our people, Mr. Speaker.
Keep going. We're going to High Street too.
So was a second? Yeah, you have a second supplementary to your third question. None? Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I dropped my papers. I weren't quite finished. I just wanted to mention one more thing. What's important, Mr. Speaker, is the honorable member next door. They said that at a high interest rate. Mr. Speaker, this government, if we have to pay 7% or 7.5% to house our people, instead of spending $100 million on a sailboat race, we will do it, Mr. Speaker. And if, Mr. Speaker, rather than spend $250 million at Morgan's Point, we will build houses, Mr. Speaker. One thing we will do is we will give our people what they need, not what some of their rich friends need or want.
Members, members, there are other members who would like to put questions on that statement.
Supplemental to that.
MP King, would you like to put your question to that statement?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, honorable members, and to the listening public. Regarding the building of affordable housing, the opposition is in full support of that because we recognize the need, 100%. Towards that end, I'm asking, was a crime prevention through environmental design assessment done regarding the planning process for the housing development? Because what we do know is that housing developments projects, affordable housing developments projects, are high-risk areas for adverse childhood experiences, crime, etc. So I'm asking whether or not an assessment was done, a crime prevention through environmental design was done on the proposed housing development.
Minister.
Thank you, MP King, for your support. We really do like to hear that from the other side sometimes, and so do the people of the country. With regard to environmental impact study, you'll be happy to know that we have had many conversations about what impacts these housing developments will cause. And so it's not lost on us, Mr. Speaker. He mentioned at risk and other things. But we've talked about transportation for sewage supply, water supply, amenities within the areas for people. So yes, all those things have been considered and will continue to be considered as we develop more and more homes.
Thank you. Supplementary or new question? Supplementary or new question?
Supplementary.
Supplementary?
When one is, if one is appropriate, one will be given. The Honourable Deputy Premier spoke about particular aspects of the assessments that were done, but he was not actually referring to the crime prevention through environmental design assessment. What he was talking about was basically the physical structure of the buildings being fit for purpose, I suspect, but what I'm talking about is an approach to building affordable housing that takes into consideration the risks that are posed for that particular group. Lighting, access, visibility, open spaces, exactly how the place is designed to reduce the likelihood of crime, violence, and antisocial behavior, because what we do know is that persons who require affordable housing are at greater risk to suffer those particular harms. It is a fact. It is a fact.
Mr. Speaker, that is insulting every Bermudian that lives in this country. To insinuate that when you're moving those people to those areas, have you done a risk assessment? That's an insult to the people of this country, does not deserve a reply.
Supplemental question.
Supplementary question.
It's apparent that the Deputy Premier does not understand what I'm asking. I'm talking about an assessment that will require the specific services to address the particular needs that are presented with populations who are experiencing specific needs related to their particular circumstances. It has shown success in Singapore, the UK, Canada, and other jurisdictions at creating safer environments, which is what we need to do. So this is an approach that creates a safer environment. We're not labeling these persons as criminals. What we're suggesting is we are taking note of the fact that they are more susceptible to having problems in their community, and we need to be systematic and strategic to make sure that we provide them with safe housing and that we protect the oncoming generations as well. That is the reason why I asked the question.
Mr. Speaker, all I have to say again is wow. And let me say to the honourable member, does he think that it's all people that find themselves struggling a little bit that want affordable homes. There are middle-class people in this country that want affordable homes. Exactly. Middle-class people, Mr. Speaker, that want affordable homes. Is the OBA saying that this housing program that we have, this aggressive housing program that we have, are for all those kinds of people, Mr. Speaker? I'm sorry. But he should have his own members standing up objecting to that statement. Without that, Mr. Speaker, I only assume that they support it.
Mr. Speaker,
Members, just a minute.
I understood.
Clarification. Now you're on your second question, correct? Because you're done. Supplementaries on your first question.
Correct, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, second question.
My understanding was that as of 2025, 1,331 persons were in desperate need of housing. I remember that it was 71 persons were on the critical list for housing. So it would suggest that the affordable housing is for those persons and not the persons that the Deputy Premier is suggesting also need affordable housing. So we're talking about this. So the question is, these affordable housing units are going to be for the 71 persons or those persons who are on the critical housing list?
Long way to get. Premier, Deputy?
Mr. Speaker, these homes are for all of our people. When we produce 229 homes in the next 14 months, we will look at the people that are on those lists, and they will be given homes accordingly. Certainly, the honourable member must know that. The OBA must know that. They were in government for 5 years. Well, that's right, we forgot they didn't build any.
Now, that was your second question. Do you have a supplementary to that, or is it your third question?
I do, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary?
So then the question is, what is the eligibility requirement to be able to successfully be considered for one of these houses? Because perhaps it's for the...
Okay, well, the question is, what's the eligibility?
What's the eligibility requirement? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, the eligibility is for people in this country that need homes, will have an opportunity to get them.
Yeah. Supplementary, that was your first supplementary. Do you have a second supplementary?
So...
Second sub. Oh,
second sub. So what is the actual eligibility criteria and what is the process? Because I think the listening public would want to know that, and potentially it'll be more than 71 persons who are on the critical list.
Minister?
Mr. Speaker, everyone that signs up to get on the list have to have a meeting with the people at Bermuda Housing Corporation, and means testing is done based on those conversations.
Do you have a third? No, you used your two subs for your second question. Do you have a third question?
I have a third question.
Third question.
Persons who are considered or who are successful applicants, will there be individual support plans for the families who are successful to ensure that the services are available to ensure their success?
I'm not sure exactly what the question is, Mr. Speaker.
Previously, there was a CMIT program under the Department of Child and Family Services. Morgan's Point, 8 units for families, and they had wraparound services to ensure that those persons who required housing, similar folks, that their needs were met for the children, for the parents, and others. I'm asking if there's going to be an individual support plan for persons receiving the housing so that they can exit the system.
Mr. Speaker, I got offended, right, for the people of this country.
Then respond.
I really do. When he talks about those people, again, now he's referring, he said similar people. What? I mean, that's just an insult to everybody. Then he talked about the emergency homes. I think that's what he's
point
referring
of information, Mr. Speaker?
No, I don't accept.
He doesn't have to take a point of information.
Right? Mr. Speaker, he referred to the emergency homes at Morgan's Point that we had up several years ago. Those were emergency homes, completely different situations, Mr. Speaker. Look, that honorable member, Mr. Speaker, needs to stop trying to make political points over people that are in this country and have struggling times. He needs to stop.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order?
He's impugning improper motive. The reason why I'm asking the questions is to ensure that those persons in this community who require suitable housing get it.
Okay. I don't want to have an up back and forth, but I think both sides are saying the same thing. The minister is saying that the housing will provide for those who are desperately needed on whatever the list is. I don't want to use the wrong term for the list, but whatever the emergency list. Those on that, and there are families who also need assistance for private home housing who aren't on the list. Both will be covered.
That's absolutely right, Mr. Speaker. Certainly members of this House know, and I've said it publicly enough, we have different categories. You have critical, urgent, and the need. And Mr. Speaker, let's be clear about another thing that we plan on doing in the next 12 months, is that we will build some homes for people to buy. Will the opposition member then say, well, congratulations, and then say, well, who are you putting some of those people? Are you going to let those people buy homes? Mr. Speaker, we will provide affordable homes for rent for our people, all of our people.
All Bermudians. 100%.
All Bermudians, 100%. And when we start building homes for sale, they will be for all Bermudians, Mr. Speaker. We will give opportunities for our people to live a healthy, happy life that they didn't have previous.
This is your second sub with your third question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Question.
Of course, we're in agreement with the overall philosophy. And what we are concerned with...
Put the question.
I'm going to put the question, sir. Will there be consideration to drafting legislation and or using existing legislation to make these protected areas the same way that you have an increased penalty zone for certain areas, sports clubs, to ensure that those neighborhoods are protected from antisocial behavior? Because we want to create a neighborhood that is safe for the persons who are going to be there. So might they rely upon existing legislation in consideration of that? That's my final question. Thank you.
Minister?
Mr. Speaker, I pause because does that really dignify a response? Really, Mr. Speaker, in this House?
The assumption
that we bring legislation for people that we're going to put in housing to what? Would you want to build a fence around it? Come on, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. All right. MP King, you've exhausted your questions. MP Pearman, you'd indicated you wanted questions for the statement. It wasn't? Is there any other way? Oh. No. MP Fay, would you like to put your questions down, MP Fay?
Thank you, Mr.
Takes
Speaker.
a minute sometimes.
What's your next op-ed to say?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The minister's one of his last statements to say that we are all in this for the purposes of Bermudians, 100% agreed. Op-eds and things that I write are critiques and also suggestions, and I think that's important for people to understand. In terms of specific questions to the minister's statement, the minister said in his statement that a rigorous technical and procurement evaluation was undertaken by the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee. Please would the minister explain to this honorable House now what was undertaken in terms of a rigorous technical and procurement evaluation by the Affordable Housing Advisory Committee. Thank you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'll be happy to give a written response because I could sit here and answer that for half an hour. The fact of the matter is that we did and we do have an affordable committee that is headed by a host of individuals that are professionals in this country. Those were the individuals, along with industry partners, those in the construction industry, the Chamber of Commerce, the Construction Association. I could go on and on and on, Mr. Speaker. I can assure you that that affordable committee that we have, Mr. Speaker, have done yeoman work with regard, and that's why I said rigorous. And it was, Mr. Speaker. We've been at it for a long time. And that particular member, the MP, who's asked this House over and over again, where is it? When is it? When is it coming? Where is it? It's here, Mr. Speaker. If he wants finite details, breakdowns, I'll be happy to give it any time.
Thank you. Do you have a supplementary or a second question?
I do have a supplementary one comment. I would appreciate that the minister bring a written statement as to that rigorous process that was undertaken. It's one thing to say, it's another thing to present, because I think the people of Bermuda need to understand that process fully, given the amount of money that is being spent. Not to impugn integrity on any of those members, but I think it's important that people understand that process. That's the nature of the question, and I don't. That's okay. That's okay. Did that process? I do have a supplementary. Did that process involve any form of RFP process for the purposes of these units that are to be built by coastal precast systems on the 3 sites that are going to involve the spending of $64 million? Thank you.
As I said previously, Mr. Speaker, we have spent months and months looking at every building system in the world. And based on the information that we received, and there were many, Mr. Speaker, hundreds and hundreds, literally, from many people, many organizations. You may have sent me one, Mr. Speaker. So those, I am very confident in that committee and the work that they done, Mr. Speaker, and that's why I'm happy and very confident standing on my feet and making these types of announcements to the House and to the country.
Second sub or third?
Thank you, second sub. So it's fair to say then that there was no RFP in respect of this particular project for $64 million across 3 sites. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mr. Speaker, and I'll tell you why. Because we know how RFPs work. And I'll tell you what, Mr. Speaker, if we would have been to an RFP on this particular matter, we would be here next year, Mr. Speaker, and we wouldn't have built a home. By the time you go through that process, select and get it done, because you will know, Mr. Speaker, to do an RFP process, certain plans have to be produced at a certain level. Certain things have to be done at certain levels. Mr. Speaker, by the time we would have awarded any building to any company, Mr. Speaker, guess what? By the time we had done that, we wouldn't have built a home. But in this particular case, by the time that would have been done, we will have over 200 homes. Thank you.
Do you have a second question?
I do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the affordable housing strategy was published at the beginning of May 2026, and some 6 weeks later, we're in this place being advised that Coastal Precast Systems is going to be spending $64 million across 3 different sites. Mr. Speaker, when did the consultation process end in respect of that housing strategy?
Minister?
If you would have read it, Mr. Speaker, you know it was June 12th.
Supplementary?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So can the Honourable Minister then please advise when the contract was signed with Coastal Precast Systems for the purposes of groundbreaking in August?
Minister?
Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to say that that contract was signed yesterday.
Second sub or new question?
So, no, that's fine. I've got the information. I appreciate that.
Okay, so...
thank you. So, third question, Mr. Speaker. The minister has said that $64 million is being ring-fenced for the 3 sites in respect of 84 homes. That amounts to about $762,000 per unit. Not obviously aware at this moment of every single size of every single unit, etc., but that's not the point. The question that I have, does that amount of $64 million include all excavations, all fit-outs, all the attendant work, including the purchase and transport of that of the precast systems and the building and construction of same? Thank you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I am happy to confirm it does. And I'm also happy to confirm, Mr. Speaker, you will know that the cost of construction, traditional build in this country right now, is anywhere between $700 and $1,000 and plus per square foot for the building of a house. This price is key in hand, Mr. Speaker. All mechanical, electrical, foundations, footings, landscaping. This is key in hand. Cut the ribbon. Everybody moves in, Mr. Speaker. I am happy to announce that.
Supplementary.
Thank you. So the minister is confident that there will be no overspends in respect of the $64 million, because one would have to assume that subcontracts must have been signed and agreements put in place for the minister to be able to make that kind of statement that this includes everything. Could the minister explain?
Minister.
Again, Mr. Speaker, we have an affordable committee. They are professionals in this country. They know exactly what everything costs. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure that the honorable member who sits in another place as a lawyer, if I asked him for an estimate what a certain case might cost based on his experience, I'm sure he can give me an idea. So, but I go further than that, because a lawyer might be able to give you an estimate based on X, Y, Z. I am confident, Mr. Speaker, very confident. The people that we have on our affordable committee and their subcommittees, and the people involved, Mr. Speaker. I've been in rooms at times, Mr. Speaker, where we've had 30 individuals in the room. 30 individuals. Many of them, some of his colleagues. So we've had a cross-section of people, a cross-section of professionals, and Mr. Speaker, I do talk confident, because I'm very, very satisfied and confident that the people we have involved in doing this work know what they are doing.
Your last sub. Your
Thank you,
your
Mr. Speaker. In no way was I suggesting that the people that the minister has engaged with don't know what they're doing. I'm not sure why we had to listen to that. What I've asked a very simple question. Is the minister saying that there are going to be no overruns from the $64 million that have been ring-fenced for this particular project?
Minister?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Right. Fine. That brings to a conclusion of questions for that statement, Minister. Now, the next statement that had questions is for the Minister of Works. Minister Adams, MP Campbell has questions for you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Minister, for your statement. Mr. Speaker, one of the key areas for enjoyment of our parks, particularly when it comes to camping and the beaches, are the bathrooms and in particular the toilets. So I'd like to ask the Minister if the bathrooms and toilets were one of the areas focused upon when he spoke about upgrades and improvements.
Minister?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the honourable member for his question. The short answer is yes. The bathrooms are being focused on. What I do know is that we have taken the initiative to increase the frequency that the bathrooms are cleaned. But most notably, I think, and most importantly, we do have plans in place that are now with planning to actually renovate bathrooms that are within our most popular beaches.
Thank you. First oh, you finished? Yeah. Your first supplementary or second question?
First supplemental.
Okay.
These checks for cleanings, do they also look for maintenance issues as well when they're checking or cleaning the bathrooms?
Minister?
So to be fair and to be clear, so the vendors that we have are doing cleaning only. However, there are members of the Department of Parks who do their checks and balances in reference to maintenance.
Second sub or second question?
Second sub, as we move into our summer season, can the minister advise on the opening hours of the bathroom facilities and whether these hours are increased during the heavy use periods such as cop match?
Minister?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In terms of the specific hours, now you're going off the top of my head, so I will endeavor to get the honourable member those specific answers to that question.
Thank you. Do you have a second, second question? You used your two subs on the first one.
Yes, I have a second question. Would like to know if the minister could provide a telephone number for the general public if they encounter a bathroom facility when they're trying to enjoy the use of the parks and beaches. Is there a telephone number that they can call to report maintenance issues?
Mr. Speaker, if I could refer back to the honourable member's previous question, many of the bathrooms, in particular those that are in our more popular beaches, are open 24/7. And if anyone has any issues, they are more than welcome to call the Department of Parks or email them. I think I gave the email address in my statement.
Okay. All right. That was your...
Sorry, if I can't, I just got it. So for reference, the Department of Parks can be reached at 236-5902. That is the main line for the Department of Parks.
I like your efficiency, sir. Thank you. Is there a supplementary to your second question? Or
Yeah.
You want to do your third question?
Sub.
Sub, okay.
During weekends and public holidays, is there a response team? If someone should call or email the department, is there a response team who will come out and address the issue or issues reported during the weekends and public holidays?
Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So, that'll be your second sub or third question?
I have no more questions. Thank you. Thank you, Minister.
Okay. Members, that brings us to a close of questions on statements this morning. We will now move on down the order paper. The next item on the order paper is congratulatory and obituary speeches. Would any member wish to speak to that? Deputy Speaker?
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning to the House and the listening public. Mr. Speaker, I would like to offer congratulations to a few schools.
Yeah.
Firstly, the Berkeley Institute. Congratulations to all of its graduates, and in particular, those graduates who receive special awards. I want to say they acquitted themselves with extreme poise and aplomb, and indeed with their scholastic efforts. Congratulations to St. David's Primary on their graduations of their young ones, and in particular to the recipients of the Leadership Awards, that's young Miss Pitcher and young Mr. Simmons, who found themselves at East End Primary at a celebration called Future Leaders Awards. And I would like to also move into it and congratulate all of the Future Leaders awardees that received their certificates at East End Primary on Monday of this week. I would also like to congratulate Mr. Carlton Tyrrell, who was the brainchild of the Future Leader Awards some 20 years ago, and the Future Leaders Awards ceremony is celebrated its 20 years of existence. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to extend a hearty congratulations to East End Primary. They had a spectacular graduation ceremony, and to young Mr. Naya Fogo Outerbridge, who was the top student at East End Primary. our future is looking quite cheerful, Mr. Speaker, because many of these young people are acquitting themselves with extreme comportment and deportment, Mr. Speaker. They are doing a superb job. So I feel very hopeful that as we move forward and our young people take the reins, Bermuda's going to be okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. The Deputy Premier jumped up very quickly that time. Deputy Premier, you have your 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like the House to give congratulations to a group of people up in the West End. Mr. Speaker, I had the good fortune to attend a meeting along with my colleague, Minister Tanae Furbett, on Tuesday night, and we were asked to come and speak to, Mr. Speaker, a group of seniors. And it was a very informative meeting, and I would like to thank Charlene Webb, who was the main organizer, along with her team, Delano Beaufort, Kim Jackson, Idonna Bean, Carla Webb, Tammy Gibbons, Deanne Martin Iris, and Claudel Richardson. Mr. Speaker, it was a very, very fruitful meeting. I think the seniors appreciated it. We had members from organizations. We had financial assistance and age concern attend as well. And I think that they were very, very happy to hear from, in particular, Minister Tanae Furbett, who gave them a host of information, answered 100 questions, Mr. Speaker. So I would like to thank Charlene and her team for holding that event, and congratulations to her and them. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to take this opportunity to join my colleague, Minister Owen Darrell, who congratulated two Bermudian powerboat racers, Mr. Speaker. I'm not sure if you saw it, but two local professional teams. One, my good friend and brother, Mr. Stephen Monis, and his team from their boat is called Nofsaid. They promote Bermuda, and of course led by Louis Martins and Nick Impreselli, and also Team Bermuda led by Steve Bridges and David Selly. They finished first and second. Nofsaid was first, and of course Team Bermuda finished second. And Mr. Speaker, I watched the race, and it was amazing that you had two Bermuda teams, two Bermuda speedboats that actually dominated this race, and Nofsaid really dominated. They destroyed the field, Mr. Speaker. I was really proud. And what was really, really comforting to hear, and I was proud, is that the amount of publicity that Bermuda got from these two boats. And Mr. Speaker, they do this all on their own. They don't ask anybody for anything. They promote Bermuda throughout the season, and they are to be congratulated. And they've worked hard. They've put in a lot of work. They've put in a lot of time, and I hope they have a lot more of these successes in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. MP Lister, would you like your time on the floor?
Yes. Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I would first like to start off sending congratulations, and I know the minister is not here, associate the Minister of Sport. And firstly, I also associate the opposition leader as he is the national swim team coach. I want to send congratulations to the national swim team who recently participated overseas, and they represent Bermuda well, bringing home some medals. First of all, they got first and third place in the 13 and over mixed 200 meters freestyle relay. And then there were some individual awards. Young Jacob Leclerc finished first in the 13 to 14 boys 100 freestyle, and Gabe Maranzana finished first in the 15 and over boys 50 freestyle. Also, again in sports, like to send congratulations to Ms. Yashay De Silva Andrade, who won gold at the 2026 Birmingham Bocce World Challenge. So again, Bermudians represent as well in all disciplines in sports. And then, Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to send congratulations to a friend of mine, so I've known for a very long time, Miss Allison Thompson, who recently produced a documentary on riots in Bermuda called Bermuda Does Riots Differently. And recently they won an award at the UK Film Festival. So again, I want to send congratulations to Miss Allison Thompson on her documentary. And I'd also like to join in with the congratulations from Member Fogo, in my role as spokesperson for education, with all the primary, middle, and I know the high schools haven't graduated yet, but I want to send, Berkeley is graduating right now, but I want to send congratulations to all of the schools and students that had passing out or graduating ceremonies, and congratulate them for the well done on the year they completed, and for those that are graduating high school, as they look forward to further education, whether in Bermuda or overseas, we wish them the best of luck. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, MP. Does any other member wish to make a contribution this morning? No one move it? Oh, MP Tucker? You have your 3 minutes, MP.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, and good morning to all of my my House colleagues and listening audience. I want to start with a condolence first. I want to extend condolences to the friends and family of Mrs. Pauline Russell. People may remember her from being up at the junction of South Shore and Middle Road and selling the fruit and the smoothies and things. I first met Mrs. Russell probably in the early 2000s when she participated in a cognitive restructuring program that I co-facilitated. Mrs. Russell and I lost touch for a while. I had not too long ago received a message that she wanted me to call her. I did. We didn't connect. And then the next thing I knew, I see that Miss Russell had passed away. She was an absolutely lovely person, bubbly, always had a story, always had a laugh. You could not engage Mrs. Russell without leaving with a feel-good moment. So again, I want to express condolences to her friends and to her family. And if I will just take a second just to say that that is probably one of the regrets that I have, is that I was not more diligent in tracking her down to connect with her. So I would just encourage my colleagues, as well as anyone that's listening. Time is not promised to anyone, so please don't always think that you have tomorrow, I'll make the call, I'll make the connection, right? So on a happier note, I would like to extend congratulations to Louise Payne, who I used to work with at Conyers, known her for a very long time. She won the RG's Fantasy League, and she got a prize of $6,000. And Minister De Silva would like to be associated with that. So congratulations to Louise. And as well as I'd like to say congratulations to the staff of Aging and Disability Services as they hosted their 4th annual event at the Devonshire Rec, complete with bingo, which I have seen a few seniors who have told me what a great time that they had, and that was in recognition of World Elder Abuse Day, and they had such a fabulous time. And then finally, I will say congratulations to my girls, to my granddaughters, Kaylin Tucker, who has just graduated from Paget Primary, and she'll be off to Salters, and as well as Riel Ming, who's graduated from Delwood, and she'll be going to the Barclay Institute. So thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Does any other member, MP Decudo?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I recently had the privilege of organizing a family fun day in Warwick, and I want to extend my thanks to Warwick Workmen's Clubs for hosting that, and everybody that was involved in putting that on. Feedback was great, and we'll certainly be doing it next year. Special thanks also to Warwick Gombays for a fabulous performance at the end, which involved the youth, and I found quite moving. It's not naturally my deep background, Mr. Speaker, but I just want to share that because I think we all in Bermuda.
You dance to the Gombays.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know if I'm quite there yet. I'm not quite there yet, but it was fabulous.
Okay.
Now, I also want to congratulate Mr. Kenny Lejour for recently winning the Moongate Tour, the golf championship, I think it was last weekend, or no, about 2 weeks ago. I would refer to him as up and coming, Mr. Speaker, but I don't think that's correct because I think he has basically arrived, and I wish this young gentleman continued success in his golfing. Now, I have a bit of a nautical theme coming up here, Mr. Speaker. So first of all, as you know, last time we were here, I wished in advance success for all the Newport racers, and now I welcome them them all to Bermuda. They all got here safe and sound. And I particularly congratulate the boat Blackjack, this 100-footer, who did the race and took line honors. And can you believe this, Mr. Speaker? From Newport to, well, not quite, I'm going to get to that. Okay. Newport to Bermuda, 1 day, 11 hours, and 26 minutes. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
And they were 48 minutes short of the record. So anyone who's here, who has a chance to go down to the Royal Bermuda Yacht Club, I urge you to go check out all those boats, especially this boat, which they parked in the pole position. Really, really something to see. A real machine. Now, speaking of real machines, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to associate myself with the Minister of Housing's. Congratulations to the power boaters. I've been seeing videos of that online, and again, I was pretty wild. So I think we all should be proud of the Bermuda ingenuity and success. And now that takes me to another motorized race. This weekend will be the Round the Island Seagull race. It's probably a little bit on the other end of the spectrum from those power boaters, and I won't get into details of the various rules and regulations, but there's some details there you should check out. So I wish all those participants a successful and, importantly, safe race. It is quite a cultural and unique thing to Bermuda, Mr. Speaker. And my last nautical comment, Mr. Speaker, is also I want to congratulate everybody who participated in the Edward Cross long-distance comet race. Those who follow these things know there was a little bit of controversy around it, which, again, you can find out more for yourself. But I also congratulate Alan and Sarah Frith for ultimately being declared the winners of that race, and I believe it was a maiden title. So congratulations to them particularly, but, of course, all participants in that also very unique Bermuda tradition. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mm-hmm. Would any other member, MP Deal?
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning to my colleagues and the listening audience. I'd just like to take the time this morning, first of all, to start out with offering condolences to the Outerbridge family on the passing of Mrs. Kenlyn Smith. Kenlyn, she was also a valued member of the civil service who worked for, I believe, close to 40 years in the General Post Office. She was an amazing woman who was certainly a part of the fabric of that department and government. And so we just want to offer our sincere condolences to her family, and may she rest in peace. I'd like to also join with MP Levita Fogo and the spokesperson for education, MP Dennis Lister Jr., with congratulating all of our students who have crossed major milestones over these past several weeks and will so in the weeks that are yet ahead of us. I'd like to offer special congratulations to the graduates from Constituency 36, from Lagoon Park Preschool, Sand Secondary Middle School, the West End Primary School, and the Somerset Primary School. I want to take a special salute to the leaders of two of those schools that have taken the social media airwaves by storm with their creativity. The students from West End Primary School, under the leadership of Principal Trina Correa, many of you will have seen the video that showed each student both introducing themselves, but they had to choose a saying that guided them as they moved on to their next step, and they did an exceptional job. So I salute those students. I'd also like to salute the creativity of the Sands Secondary Middle School, who created an arts project where each of the graduates did something where they said their name and they said, "I'm signing out." And they left their handprints on a piece of artwork. So I just want to congratulate all of our students, all of our educators, all of our parents. And like MP Levita Fogo said, I believe that our future is in great hands and the best is yet to come. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Mr. Whip, would you like your 3 minutes?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, colleagues and the radio audience. Mr. Speaker, I would like condolences to be sent to the family of Mr. Dane Brown, his wife, Charlene. Mr. Brown is actually being funeralized at this moment as we speak. Dane was a neighbor of mine during my days on Angle Street, and he was a very good sportsman in both cricket and football for Young Men's Social Club. And in his latter years, like most of us, he transferred to a slower game, slow pitch softball, that's the word I want. And that's when I actually joined him. We played slow pitch softball for a number of years together, his wife as well, for a team that was called Royal Gazette Slow Pitchers. And he was a very nice guy. As I said, we grew up. He was on Princess Street. I was on Angle Street. So we obviously played in the streets in those days together, both football and cricket. So I do wish the family all the best, and my friend, rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rip. Minister, would you like to add your comments? Ms.
Thank
Lightman,
you,
you have the floor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. This morning, I just wanted to rise to offer congratulations to the National Museum. I had the honor of participating on behalf of the Minister of Tourism, Transport, Culture, and Sport in opening their Your Pictures, Your Objects, Your Stories, Our History exhibition. Mr. Speaker, in recognizing that we have been conscious and also celebrating and also seeking to amplify what it is our history and our stories through our ministry efforts through CARICOM. I wanted to both highlight the work that's been going on for some time at the National Museum regarding their tracing our roots and objects that make us exhibits, and the efforts that they've been trying to do to connect and also shine a light on the history that is entrenched in our communities, the stories that have made us who we are, and the truth of not only who we are, but also our history and our roots. I do want to celebrate them under the leadership of Ms. Elena Strong. I also wish to offer congratulations to the graduating class of Devonshire Preschool. I had a special young lady who participated in that school, and I wanted to celebrate not only that class, but also the teachers who day in and day out offer rich contribution and rich and a safe space for our children to both grow and learn and develop. And so I want to celebrate Principal Burns, Teacher William, Teacher Simmons, Teacher Bromlett, Teacher Webb, and Ms. Roberts for their support and guidance for that graduating class that finished yesterday. Finally, I want to also just offer a congratulations and also a public service announcement to encourage members of the public to attend a screening on menopause, which is taking place tomorrow at the Treehouse location. It's tomorrow at 2 p.m. Mrs. Keisha Tyrrell and Dr. Cousins will be hosting a film. And as women navigate mental health and also menopause and the change, I want to associate Mr. MP Tyrrell, of course, with these comments. But Treehouse tomorrow, Bermuda, and women in particular, encouraging them to come out and just learn about the change in perimenopause and also the transition to menopause and its impact that it has as we seek to navigate and go through our community. So I do want to encourage members tomorrow, 4 p.m. at Treehouse. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Does any other member wish to make a contribution at this time? Premier?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to access this Honorable House to extend condolences to the family of the late Mr., and I do not believe this was done before, George Eric Ferbert, who passed away in his 79th year. He was the husband of the late Paula Ferbert and the father of Erika Smith, the executive director of the BDC, Thea Ferbert, who will know from her autism advocacy at Tomorrow's Voices, and Miss Stacy Hill. I've known the family my entire life, and I certainly did get to pay my last respects, but I want to ask this Honorable House to send condolences to his family. family. On a different note, Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask this Honorable House to extend a letter of congratulations to the organizers of the 2026 Carnival in Bermuda, which was held over the National Heroes Day holiday. And this goes all from the Ministry of Tourism and Transport, Culture and Sport, the Bermuda Tourism Authority, Carnival Bermuda organizers, Nova Mass International, Party People Entertainment, and all of the organizers, artists, vendors, volunteers, promoters, and staffs who helped to deliver this year's events. Carnival in Bermuda brought visitors from around the world to our island for 6 days of music and culture, and from family-friendly programming to concerts, fetes, and of course the closing event, Revel the Road. Bermuda once again shows that we can host a visitor experience that supports tourism, showcases local talent, and brings Bermudians and guests together. I also, Mr. Speaker, would ask the Honorable House to extend its appreciation to the Bermuda Police Service, the emergency services, the traffic teams, and all those who worked across a holiday weekend to keep residents and visitors safe. The success of Carnival Bermuda was a result of the dedication, hard work of many people behind the scenes, and it was so great to be a part of the celebrations, to witness so many visitors enjoying Bermudian culture. And it's important to note, of course, that the event itself saw significant economic activity, and that economic activity ended up in persons who were entrepreneurs, persons who were promoting parties, persons who were vendors and service providers, persons inside this community who are looking for an economic boost and look forward to carnival events on every single year. And so I'm proud that this government continues to support it. I'd ask the Honorable House to please send a letter of congratulations to the organizers. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Does any other member wish to make a contribution at this time? There are none others. Before we move on, I'd just like to add my support to the words of congratulations that was given to Miss Allison Thompson on her film about the riots, how Bermuda does riots differently. She won the award amongst the many other entries that was at the film festival there in the UK. So it's outstanding that Bermuda once again punches above its weight, so to speak. And secondly, to the remarks that were given to Eric Furbett's family just now. I've known the family for most of my adult life as well. From my teenage years, rather, adult life, teenage years. So my condolences to the family. If that's it, we'll now move on. And the next item on the order paper is the matters of privilege. There are none. Personal explanations, there are none. Notice of motions for the adjournment of the House on matters of urgent public importance, there are none. Introduction of bills, there are none. Notice of motions, there are none. That now takes us to the orders of the day, and it's been agreed by both sides that we'll switch the order. Item number 1 will now be the second item done, and item number 2 will be the first item, and item number 2 is the second reading of the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act 2026 in the name of the Minister of Economy and Labor. Minister?
Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill entitled the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act 2026 be now read a second time.
Are there any objections to that? There are none. Continue, Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I am pleased to introduce in this honorable House today a bill entitled the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act 2026, which provides for the chairman of the Immigration Appeals Tribunal to dismiss an appeal where the appellant has been non-responsive and has failed to pursue his appeal. Mr. Speaker, at present, the Immigration Appeals Tribunal does not have the explicit authority to dismiss appeals that have been left unresolved and effectively abandoned by appellants. In practice, this has resulted in cases remaining in abeyance for extended periods, in some instances for several years, due to the lack of communication or action from the appellant. This situation creates administrative inefficiencies, contributes to an inaccurate representation of active caseloads, and undermines the tribunal's ability to effectively manage its proceedings. Mr. Speaker, this bill amends the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Act 1956 to expressly empower the chairman of the Immigration Appeals Tribunal to dismiss appeals that have remained unresolved and in abeyance for a period exceeding 6 months. The amendments also provide for the Immigration Appeals Tribunal to make rules governing the way in which the chairman may dismiss an appeal and provide that the appellant, if aggrieved by a decision to dismiss this appeal, may appeal to the Supreme Court. Mr. Speaker, the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Appeals Amendment Rules 2026, which are subject to the negative resolution procedure, will prescribe the process by which dismissals may take place, ensuring the appellant are afforded procedural fairness. In particular, where appellants have failed to pursue their appeals and the chairman considers the appeal should be dismissed, the appellant will be notified of the intention to dismiss their appeal and given a final opportunity to proceed. Appellants will be given 30 days from the date of the notice to make written representations to the chairman, giving reason as to why the appeal should not be dismissed. If no representations are made to the chairman within 30 days, then the chairman shall notify the parties of the appeal in writing that it is dismissed. If written representations are made to the chairman within the required time frame, the chairman shall consider the representation and consult with members of the panel before deciding whether or not to dismiss the appeal. Again, parties to the appeal will be formally notified of the dismissal in writing. Mr. Speaker, by enabling the tribunal to resolve dormant matters, these reforms will support more accurate reporting, improve case management, and enhance public confidence in the appeals process. These amendments are a practical and necessary step. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Minister. Does any other member wish to make a contribution? Fay?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I appreciate that the Minister has added some clarity around what's expected to be seen in the rules. So thank you, Minister, for that. There's no objections from this side of the House in respect of what's trying to be achieved here. We've heard it before. If things take too long, justice is not what it is supposed to be. So I do have a couple of questions that maybe the Minister can shed some light on. Obviously, these amendments have been brought to speed up the administration of cases. How many are currently outstanding over 6 months where it is likely that the chairman is going to make dismissal orders given the parameters that have been set? Even round numbers would be sufficient, just so we have an idea as to how many actually are outstanding that required this amendment to be brought. And how long will it take for the rules to be published by the Immigration Appeals Tribunal? It sounds as if they're pretty much ready to go, but in the event that this bill will pass and in the Senate, how much longer thereafter will those rules be available for people to read? That's the end of my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Does any other member wish to make a contribution? MP Lister?
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll just take a few minutes just to lend support to this amendment, Mr. Speaker. I think we're common sense and house cleaning. It's something that will make it more efficient. As the Minister said, that, and I take it from my own experience, Mr. Speaker, and when you're doing internal auditing or record keeping, and you look at a spreadsheet and you see that there are request or appeal 60, 90, 120, 180 days outstanding, Mr. Speaker. I think this goes a long way to help clean it up, better record keeping for those the ones that are looking at these reports, Mr. Speaker. And again, I think it also gives provision, it looks out and gives provision to those that might feel aggrieved, as the Minister said, where the tribunal or the chair of the tribunal has dismissed the appeal because it's been sitting for 6 months or so. If a person feels aggrieved, that they can appeal to have that to appeal to that dismissal. So again, sensible house cleaning to make it more efficient. And again, it's good to hear that the opposition is in favor of this. Again, common sense legislation being brought to this House. So thank you again, Mr. Speaker, and to the Minister and his team for this amendment.
Thank you. Does any other member wish to make a contribution? None. Minister?
Mr. Speaker, the procedures are being worked on simultaneously as we go through this particular process, so it will be timely that we bring those procedures to the House of Assembly. When we look at the number of appeals that's actually published in the budget book as an outcome, and so we're talking about less than 5 appeals which are standing over the, I believe you asked for 6-month period? Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I do think the opposition and the members from this side who have contributed to this debate, I believe they summed it up well as it pertains to this is common sense rules that straighten up procedures that are required. So I now move that the bill be committed.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy Speaker.
Good afternoon, members. We are now in Committee of the Whole on the bill entitled Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act 2026. I call on the Minister. Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Madam Chairman, can I move clauses 1 through 4?
It has been moved that clauses 1 through 4 be considered. Are there any objections? There are none. Continue, Minister.
Madam Chairman, this bill seeks to amend the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Act 1956 to provide for the chairman of the Immigration Appeals Tribunal to dismiss an appeal where the appellant has failed for a period of 6 months to pursue his appeal, for rules to be made as to the manner in which appeals may be dismissed and for persons aggrieved by such a decision to appeal to the Supreme Court. Clause 1 is self-explanatory. Clause 2 amends Section 13E, Powers and Procedures, by providing for the chairman of the Immigration and Appeals Tribunal to dismiss an appeal where the applicant has failed to pursue his appeal for a period of 6 months. Clause 3 amends Section 13F, Costs and Rules, by providing for the Immigration Appeals Tribunal to make rules as to the manner in which the chairman may dismiss an appeal. Clause 4 amends Section 13G, right to appeal decisions to the Supreme Court, to provide for persons who are aggrieved by a decision of the chairman to dismiss their appeal to make an appeal to the Supreme Court.
Thank you. Are there any other members who wish to speak to clauses 1 through 4? There are no other members. Minister?
Madam Chairman, I move that clauses 1 through 4 be approved.
It has been moved that clauses 1 through 4 be approved. Are there any objections? There are none. Approved.
Madam Chair, I move that the preamble be approved.
It's been moved that the preamble be approved. Are there any objections? There are none. Approved.
Madam Chair, I move that the bill be reported to the House as printed.
It has been moved that the bill be reported to the House as printed. Are there any objections? There are none. So moved.
Thank you, members. Are there any objections to the bill entitled the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act 2026 being reported to the House as printed? There are none. It has been reported as printed. The next item on the order paper is the second reading of the Pensions Increase Amendment Act 2026. In the name of the Minister of Finance, Premier, would you like to present this matter? No. For the listening audience, Premier is just preparing for his presentation.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, it seems as if my technology is not working.
Not yours.
I know,
It
right?
works.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hopefully wait for it to wake up. Or I might have to read it off of my phone, Mr. Speaker. 'Cause Mr. Speaker, could you bear with me for a minute, please? I'm so sorry. Try to open the file again.
For the listening audience, we just completed the first order of the day, which was the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Amendment Act. And we're now about to do the second order of business today, which is the Pension Increase Amendment Act 2026. And we're just waiting for a technical matter to be resolved here.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My sincere apologies. Mr. Speaker, I move the bill entitled the Pensions Increase Amendment Act 2026 be now read for the second time.
Are there any objections? There are none. Continue, Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the bill before this honorable House today has a clear purpose. It delivers the 10% pension increase for public sector retirees that we spoke of in the budget statement earlier this year. Mr. Speaker, honorable members would be aware that public service pension benefits have been frozen since 2014. And that freeze has been raised with me by retirees, by unions, and in many different forums over the past years. These are former teachers, nurses, police officers, firefighters, corrections officers, administrative officers, and many other public officers who worked across government and, of course, gave years of service to this country. Retirees have seen their costs go up. They've served Bermuda and they've done their part, and they've waited a long time for this increase. However, Mr. Speaker, it is important to note that there was a reason why public service pensions were frozen in 2014, as it is well accepted that the Public Service Superannuation Fund was not in a sustainable position and action needed to be taken. And it would be as part of the record of this House, and one of my things as Shadow Minister of Finance, that the opposition at the time supported that freeze, recognizing that work needed to be done on public sector pensions. But the important thing is, Mr. Speaker, is that this government actually did that work. And so it's important that we approach these things in the right order. It would have not have been responsible to respond to the pleas of those who wanted a public sector pension increase to simply promise or to give an increase without first doing the work that was required to strengthen the Public Service Superannuation Fund. Mr. Speaker, that is why this House passed the Public Service Superannuation Stabilization Amendment Act 2025. And that legislation put our fund, or put the public sector pension fund, on a sustainable path. At that time, we made it clear that stabilizing the fund was the first step. It created the capacity for the government to responsibly consider pension increases during this fiscal year after consultation with the actuaries and the Public Service Superannuation Board. It should be noted, Mr. Speaker, that if that fund, if those increases were not suspended in 2014, we would have had a fund that would have been in even a worse position. And by the time we would have made those changes, it was likely, Mr. Speaker, that the fund would not have been able to pay benefits. However, Mr. Speaker, we have gone through this process. We've gone through the changes to the fund, and following consultation with the actuaries and the Public Service Superannuation Board, which is made up of the unions, the represented unions, Mr. Speaker, the government is now able to move forward with this 10% increase. We did say that we would stabilize the fund, and we said once that work was done, we would provide relief to public sector retirees, and now we're delivering. Mr. Speaker, the bill before this honorable House amends the Pensions Increase Act 1972 to provide a 10% increase in pensions payable under the Public Service Superannuation Act 1981 and any act repealed under that act, because there was a number of acts that were precedent to that as well, and persons are still receiving pensions under those previous acts. The bill also applies to pensions under the Ministers and Members of the Legislature's Salaries and Pensions Act 1975, consistent with recommendations made by the committee which reviewed ministers and members of the legislature's salaries and pensions underneath the particular act. Mr. Speaker, has been mentioned in the budget statements and otherwise that this increase will take effect from the 1st of April 2026. However, it is also important to note, Mr. Speaker, that the payments on this are not going to begin until October 2026, and therefore when the payments or the increase in payments go in October 2026, they will be inclusive of the retroactive amounts due from the 1st of April 2026. It is important to note, Mr. Speaker, the changes which we're making is not a return to the automatic annual cost of living increases that did exist underneath the previous act, or the act of which we're amending. The government must continue to manage the fund responsibly, and we must continue to protect its long-term sustainability. And honorable members will know that the changes of which we made require a consultation both on matters related to increases and also matters that are related to any types of changes with the Public Service Superannuation Board. However, we are now in a position to provide this promised 10% increase, and we're doing so. Mr. Speaker, some will say that this 10% is not enough. And I understand that after so many years without an increase, people would want more. But this is what we can responsibly afford at this time while protecting the fund for the long term. However, this is a real increase that is being delivered after the government did the work to place the fund on a stable footing. But, Mr. Speaker, it is also important to note that this bill also sits alongside wider work this government has done to support seniors and retirees. Since returning to office in 2017, this government has increased social insurance pensions in line with inflation. As we know, and I tabled earlier today, Mr. Speaker, a order to continue that promise. We've also expanded health benefits that matter to retirees. HIP and Future Care policyholders now benefit from annual physicals without copays, and the government has also expanded GHI benefits so that public sector retirees covered by GHI Public sector retirees covered by GHI will benefit from improved access to annual examinations without the previous out-of-pocket costs. Supporting retirees is not only about pension income, it is also about reducing the cost of care, improving access to preventive health services, and helping people manage their health before small issues become more serious and more expensive. Mr. Speaker, the government has taken the hard decision required to strengthen the fund, and because of that work, we can now deliver this 10% increase in pension benefits to our public sector retirees. I look forward to the comments of other members. Thank you.
It's one word. What happened?
I don't know.
You've got 2 minutes before 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Comments now, or at least take it to me.
I can certainly do it in under 7 minutes, Mr. Speaker. Maybe not under 2.
I was going to say, are there many speakers?
Yes.
Well, let's do the research. Mr. MP Simmons?
No, I'm not inclined to interrupt, Honourable Speaker. It's just that I'm wondering why we're not going all the way through. Are there other obligations that prevent us from going through? This appears to be a very short session today. We could have omitted lunch and gone straight through. But if we're prepared now to take lunch and then return afterwards, only to be here briefly thereafter. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.
Negotiation going back, or conversation going back and forth, we was trying to establish where we could have gone straight through, but there seems to be commitments that have been made to allow the leading spokesman to be here for that entire time. So the negotiation, you've seen the whips and I going back and forth. We're trying to work that out now. So
thank you for your
we were hoping to be able to set right through, but
thank you for your reply.
Premier has a meeting during this period of time that's already pre-scheduled.
Mr. Speaker,
So we'll move for lunch now.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move this honorable House now adjourned to return to 2 p.m.
Okay. So the House will now stand adjourned until 2 p.m.
Okay.
Bermuda Live on YouTube. Subscribe now.